Hey, it's Giggy. Welcome to a brand new challenge, one I don't think has ever been attempted before. Only the strong will survive. Normally I would only set up one gathering flag, but due to this challenge I'm going to set up 2 of them. And we'll place those right here. We need to be gathering the berries as quickly as possible so that they can end up regrowing, because it takes 12 days for them to re-blossom the berries. We'll add a storage here and make sure to select berries. The next thing we'll need right away is wood. And it looks like we have 2 spots that we can collect trees right now. So let's add a path going up here. And then we can add some lumberjack flags. Let's see first how far that will actually go out. So they won't get many of those. Let's see, if we place them here, then they can reach some of those. Add a path and then make sure that I mark the trees. Always a thing that I tend to forget, so I want to do that right away. And then we'll want to add another lumberjack flag over here. Let me draw a path going this way. And we'll add a flag over here as well for them to collect these trees. Cut those down. I'm going to add 2 beavers to our district so that we can get that going and then increase our hours because we've got a lot to do. While the beavers are working on that, we can go ahead and place where our water pump is going to be. And I think this is a good spot for now. So we'll just place that right there. And then add in our pathing. I think I'll place 2 more just for the future. We won't build them right now, but at least it will be laid out so I know not to place anything there. And then we can add our water storages. For now we'll just place 2. And make sure we select water. Alright, now the beavers have something to work on. We'll also want a log storage, probably in a central location. That way the beavers can easily access it to build the things that we'll need. Our next priority is going to be our inventor, because the sooner that we can build a forester and get berry bushes planted, the better. We need that as soon as possible because these berry bushes are not going to last long. And then let me also put a teeth grindstone over here so that our beavers can grind down their teeth when they get broken. Normally my main focus would be water, but on this one we are going to need that berry storage built as soon as possible so that these beavers can continue collecting berries. Then the next thing we can end up building is the water with a water tank. Now that we have all of our flags built, I'm going to remove one of the beavers from the district, and let's increase time. They've got some tasks to do. We can now build our housing. I'm only going to place 4 houses down though, because we actually do not want any more beavers at this time until we get a handle on this berry situation, which is going to take quite a bit of time to do so. Our beavers are going to be a little grumpy tonight by not having any water, but that will be rectified tomorrow. They'll get this pump built and then they will be able to drink their sippy. Since we only start out with a limited number of berry bushes over here, we need to make it over on this side as soon as possible so that we can start gathering these berry bushes. Looks like our water pump is built, so let's remove another beaver from our district so that they can go ahead and work in here. And I want to make sure that we have beavers working in these 3 places at all times. I'm going to place a dam over on this side so that they can cross, and then we also need to hold in the water when we get our drought anyways. And let's build a path. Can just go across here and connect it over here. and then we'll have a path over here. Yep, the beavers are already angry by not having enough water, so hopefully that gets solved soon. We'll add in a log storage over here so that when we have our lumberjacks over here, they can just place the logs in here. And that'll also allow our builders not having to go too far, because we will end up building things over on this side as well. And I thought I paused these water pumps, but it would seem not. Well, now we have two, so we'll solve the water problem very quickly. Let's see, did we get this built yet? No, we absolutely need that built. We need our research done. And once that is built, then I'll end up removing another beaver from our district. We only need one working there. We absolutely need research going. Let's actually take you out of there. And let's see, yeah, now we can place another one back in here for building. Let's slow this down a bit. It looks like we already have finished these berries. So our next thing that we need to do is build some lumberjack flags over here as well. And get these trees all knocked down so that we can get this dam built. We need to access more berries immediately. Otherwise, this is going to be a catastrophe very quickly. While they're working on that, I do want to set up, eventually we will need our lumber mill. I think that is a perfect place for it. And then we can end up building a power wheel right here. Pause that for now. I want this path moved over just a smidge. And then we will get rid of this pathing right here. There, that way that all connects. And then we can end up fitting another small water tank right here. And we'll select water. We'll need a gathering flag over on this side to collect these berries. So let's place that right away so that I don't end up forgetting once they get to that side. Before any berries grow in this spot, let me add a path here. I just want to make sure that we can access these berries up here. And then we can end up adding a path going all the way across here to reach over here, but we'll have to wait for some trees to be knocked down first. Since we have 3 beavers available and we have a lot to build, I'm going to place 2 in the district for now. We can reallocate later, but we need to get this built. We need our houses still built because that's going to make the beavers very upset having to sleep on the ground. Look at them. I'd be upset too. That does not look comfy by any means. While we're waiting on some of that, let's see if we have any other spots where we can... Ooh, great. Okay, so there's berries over here. We're going to need to access that as well. Why these trees are cut down. Let's build a path over here. This will probably be the better spot though. It's a lot shorter distance. We can go like that. But we're definitely going to want to access over here as well so that we can gather all of those berries. Let's speed up time, get through the night here. I want these lumberjack flags built so that we can start getting our dam going. And I did tell y'all to build the lumberjack flags first, right? Okay. Don't listen, that's fine. I wonder if I change the priority on this, if you will end up building the lumberjack flags first. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good job. Keep up the good work. And then we'll change that back over there. And then we can pause one of our lumberjack flags over here. So then that way that beaver can work over here and get this wood collected so that they can keep building. We currently have 20 science now. Let's see, what do we need for our forester? We need 30. So we need to get a move on with our planks as well. But the priority is being able to get to more berries because we are already going in the wrong direction. It just keeps decreasing. Definitely starting to question my life choices because we're going to need to unlock the stairs in order to access over here. And we still need to unlock the forester as soon as possible so that we can plant some more berry bushes. Got a lot to do. Alright, it looks like those trees are pretty much done. Let's go ahead and pause those for now. We'll unpause this one up there. Once we have our dam completed, then we can actually start getting some oak trees, which I'm looking forward to because then we can get 8 logs. And it looks like they're almost there, and since we have 2 spare beavers, they can just stand around and wait because I want those trees cut down as soon as we can get over there. That way these berries can start spreading right away. And we need more logs so that we can continue building our housing and everything else. Alright, let's see what else we need to work on. I'm thinking we're definitely going to need another inventor. That is without a doubt because we need more science. This is not working. Only 38 science. That is definitely not going to allow us to get our forester, which is 30. We're also going to need stairs as soon as possible, which is 70. And then we're going to need platforms, which is 100, because we need to be able to cross here to acquire those berries. So the sooner that we can get another inventor going, the better. And then we can end up taking a beaver off somewhere. But this is also going to be a high priority. Looks like they are finally almost done with our dam, and then we can have beavers come over here. This is going to be the next highest priority. We absolutely need to get a beaver collecting more berries because the berries just keep going down at this point, and unfortunately none have regrown over here yet. Let's kind of take a... yeah, these are gonna take a while. Oh, this is not looking good. Oh, we're under 100 berries already. And beavers are unhappy because they have no house. Alright. One situation at a time. We got the dam done. That's a success. And now we have a beaver collecting berries over here. Unfortunately, there's not many, but some is better than none at this point. Let's add a small storage over here so that we can put the berries in there. Make sure that we don't reach capacity for storage. And I really want to access over here as well. Let's see, with these trees being cut down, is there any way that we can get through here yet? It's not looking great yet. Oh, hold on. This is gonna not look pretty, but we don't need it to look pretty. We just need to access berries right now. And then we'll get rid of this pathing right here. And then we can put another gathering flag over here and get some more berries. And that should be good. And then we'll end up putting a small warehouse over here for berries as well. Oh my gosh, our well-being finally went up. Just to go back down. But that's alright. At least it went up for a little bit. It was exciting to see. Alright, and then let's make sure that we have a beaver working in there. That's a very high priority. We want to get that built so that we can get those berries. Yeah, we're almost out of berries over here already. We have one. Oh, this is not looking great. Well, we can only work with what we have. Good, they're working on our power wheel. And then we'll end up needing our lumber mill going because the sooner that we can get stairs to get up to these berries, might as well pause that gathering flag. There's nothing for you to do right there, and you can go work somewhere else. At least we have our houses built now. So that'll make the beavers a lot happier to not have to sleep on the ground. And it looks like we can finally clean up this path a little bit because I got rid of this tree. So let's make that look better. Get rid of that there. I'm really hoping some of these bushes grow some berries quickly. Otherwise, this might be the end of this challenge already. I don't know. We'll have to see. I know we definitely need some planks so that we can get up to these berries, but gotta keep an eye on whenever there's berries available to pick so that we can pick them right away. And I want to get over here. I'm wondering if that would be, well, these are a lot closer and this would only need one stair. I think this will be our first focus. Let's get rid of that and we'll add a stair here. Yes, please. Then that way we can end up collecting those berries. Let's make sure, let's see, that's almost built. Alright, now we absolutely need a beaver working in there, so we can take... I don't have too much to build right now. Let's actually take you off of that. And let's see if these... How far... Okay, so they can get to there, but let's add some lumberjack flags over here. That way they can access these oak trees, and we can get some... we can get 8 logs per tree. And I'll go ahead and pause over here for now. And we don't need you there either. And then have a path going over here. Let's see, any berries pop back up yet? No, unfortunately, but we almost have our stairs built. Let's make sure that gets done. And eventually we'll want to add some pathing or platforms so that the beavers can get across here and have a lot shorter distance, but right now it's all about the berries. The berries is the priority. That is what we are focused on. We are already down to 77 berries, 75, 74. Yep, just keeps going down, down, down. Not good. Pretty soon those beavers are going to be very unhappy about not having any food. I think it's definitely time to place our forester and start getting some berries planted. Normally, I'd be building a forester for the sole reason of planting trees, but we need berries. That is what we are focused on in BERRIESTOPIA. Let's get all of these berries planted as soon as possible. Hopefully we can make it work. Our beavers will survive and the challenge will be completed. And somehow I missed a spot. Let's add the berries right there. I'm wondering too, we should be able to add berries right here as well. They should be able to survive. The more berries the better at this point. Oh, and let me make sure. Wow, they built that quick. Good, we already have one in there. Let's make sure that that's a higher priority. Our next focus is going to be making it over here because right now it is not looking good. None of these, except 2 right here, none of these berry bushes have any berries to pick. So let's get over to this side and get these berries picked as soon as possible so that they can regrow. And we'll want to end up having, I think we'll end up putting 2 gathering flags over here just so that they can pick those as quickly as possible. And we'll put, I should just put a bigger storage over here for berries. We have the wood. Alright, this needs to be done, then at least one of those and storage. Then we can get that one built. Why are y'all so unhappy? Still got food and water for now. It's not gonna last long, the food anyways, but you still have some. Let's pause that flag. We don't need that right now until more berries start blossoming. And how are these looking? Ooh, not good. Any berries over? Ooh, 94%. Alright, let's unpause one of these just in preparation. And there's our drought warning. We're almost making it through one cycle. No beavers have succumbed to starvation yet. We'll see how it goes. Just need to make it over here to keep them going. And considering our situation here, let's add a second forester right away. I think the sooner that we can get more berry bushes planted, the better. At least we finally have some berries popping up over here. That'll help a lot. Oh, and it would seem I forgot to select berries over here. That's alright. They wanted to build that as quickly as possible instead of building that. Not really the priority, but okay. And just so that we can get those berry bushes picked sooner than later, I want this one open as well. Because it takes 12 days for these berries to end up growing, and we need to start that 12-day cycle as soon as possible. Looks like we're coming along on our second forester over here. Let's see, how are they coming over here? Alright, well, I kind of wanted you to finish that up sooner than later. I know it's a long way to go, but there's berries over here. You want berries because our food is under 40 now. We need more food. Let's get that done, please. We are currently solely relying on these berry bushes because the ones that are just being planted take 12 days for the bush to grow and then 12 days for berries to actually grow on the bush. That is 24 days. So normally berries are the bane of my existence, how they just keep popping up and they're in my way. But this time I would love for these to just magically plant themselves everywhere and we could just have a berry bush infestation. Oh, finally. All right. They made it over here. Then we'll end up having that as a very high priority so that they can get those berries. And let's see, is there any place that we could take someone off of? Yeah, we could probably take you off of here. And that way we can have you over here as well. We need berries. Now, where did you get removed from? Alright, well, we definitely need some wood. But currently our wood supply is higher than our food supply. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I need y'all to collect those as quick as possible. Yes, our food is finally over. It was over 100 for a very short time. Alright. Yeah, it's going back and forth. But at least it's going in the right direction for now. And we'll get this other forester going. I'll have to see where I can pull a beaver from. Probably here, since those are all picked right now. And the nice part about the berry bushes, as long as they don't die, you don't have to replant them like you do trees. So we can end up getting rid of this forester entirely once all these berry bushes are planted. Alright, we are approaching our first drought, and there it is. We have not had one beaver die yet due to starvation. They have died of old age, but, you know, that happens. Let's go ahead and pause our lumber mill for now because, unfortunately, our water wheel will not work during a drought, but that gives us time for another beaver to move over there. And since there are no berries over here, but I see a berry pop up over here, let's move you. And I'm actually going to slow this down a little bit. Let's plant some more berries over here. Should be able to fill in all of this area with berries. And how far can you get up? Sadly, I wish you could get up there. Hopefully those berries will just end up multiplying up there on their own. Then we can pause you from here. You got the one berry bush. Good job. None are popping up over there quite yet. Let's fill in the rest over here. And we will want some trees. This will probably be our tree area. But mainly we want the berry bushes. Looks like we started out with a 3-day drought. We have a little over 2 days to go. But it looks like we may have successfully gotten through our first cycle. I don't want to jinx it. I probably shouldn't say anything. Oh, we definitely don't need you there without any trees. That's not going to work, is it? Let's make sure we have you there. Oh, and we got more berries popping up. We must have workers there. We've got one over here. I wish I had more beavers that I could just keep them on these at all times, but unfortunately we do not. We cannot grow our population until we have enough berries to sustain our current population. Alright, what building lacks a worker? I'm fine with that. We don't need you getting wood just yet. We've got still a decent amount of logs, and we're not really building anything right now. Since we won't be getting any well-being from carrots, sunflower seeds, or any of the food items, I think it would be a good idea right now to add some well-being, and we can end up adding campfires for our beavers. That way they can have some relaxation time and be happy so that they can collect as many berries as quickly as possible. Alright, it looks like we only have a few more trees over here to collect. Do not die. Luckily, they have a drought resistance of 9 days, so that is a saving grace. The biggest thing is we will absolutely need to be building a bad water diversion sooner than later. Because if any of these berry bushes die, it's going to be game over. And that way they can get up there to collect these trees. Want to build a path, make sure I select these trees to be cut down. And then we'll end up placing our lumberjack flags right here. That way we can keep up with our logs, because we'll end up needing quite a bit of planks to go ahead and build our bad water diversion. Did you think this was possible? We have over 200 berries in storage and we're almost done with cycle 1. I did not think that we would actually make it through this. I for sure thought that we'd at least have a couple beaver casualties, but it looks like we were able to make it happen. We've only got a little over a day to go, but I think we're going to end up making it through cycle 1. Alright, it looks like we've got our first campfire built, which is nice. Then the beavers can hang out and chill there and tell ghost stories or whatever else beavers like to do by a campfire. Looks like we're almost filled up on berries over here, so this forester has definitely been putting in the work. Let's see how this one's doing. Coming along. Let's make sure you're in there. Alright. It looks like we have one berry bush that we can collect berries from. How are we doing over here? Are these all... Yeah, it's hard to tell when they're looking the way that they are, but it looks like those are all collected because they're just chilling there. Some pause, or put those on pause so that you can go and do other things. Now that the berry situation is looking somewhat decent, I want to add some more small water tanks over here so that we can store more water. Let's put a couple right there, because it looks like, yeah, we are at capacity. It would be a shame to actually beat the challenge of berries only, but lose due to the fact of not having enough water. So let's get a handle on that. I'm not seeing any other berries that are super nearby. It looks like we do have some over here, and it'd be somewhat easily accessible if we end up building our pathing going this way. Just need to be on the search for berries. That's all we're doing. And then they should be able to cross on the blockages over here. Let's add in right there, and then we can put a couple gathering flags here. Let's see. Oh, wow, there's a decent amount of berries here. I like it. How far? Alright, yeah, you can fit there, and we'll put one there. And then we can end up placing a storage over on this side for berries. And select that. And then I'd very much like that built as soon as possible. Let's put that way this time, because last time y'all built the storage before actually building the path to go ahead and collect the berries. Didn't make much sense to me. Alright, looks like we have one berry bush here. Let's unpause that and collect our one set of berries. I was really hoping these ones would grow back faster. Yeah, it looks like we've got a couple that are coming up. Alright. The drought has ended. We have actually survived the first cycle of the Only Berry Challenge. It was touch and go there for a while. I really didn't think that we would pull it off. Check out the next episode to see if the beavers will survive cycle 2. Take care. See you soon.